Good morning, children. Now I am going to discuss grade 10 mathematics chapter 1, that is real numbers. What are real numbers? The collection of rational numbers and irrational numbers is called the set of real numbers, and it is denoted with capital letter R, capital R. You all know about rational and irrational numbers, no? Rational numbers which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. And irrational are numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. Now the combination of rational and irrational numbers is called the set of real numbers. And then in this chapter we are going to learn the main topics, Euclid's division lemma and Euclid's division algorithm. So before going to learn these two concepts, let us see what is lemma and what is algorithm. See, algorithm means it is a series of well-defined steps which gives a procedure for solving a type of problem. Algorithm means it is a series of well-defined steps which gives the procedure for solving a type of a problem which are already defined, and by using all those defined steps we will solve one type of problem, that is called an algorithm. And lemma, a lemma is a proven statement used for proving another statement. Already proved statement will be used to prove another statement, that is called as a lemma. So Euclid's division lemma. Given positive integers a and b, there exists unique integer q and r satisfying a is equal to bq plus r, where 0 is less than or equal to r is less than b. This is Euclid's division lemma. If you divide a with b, here a is dividend and b is the divisor, there exists unique quotient and remainder. Unique quotient and remainder. Here quotient and remainder are represented with q and r. A is dividend, b is divisor, q is quotient and r is the remainder. So here for every dividend and divisor there exists unique quotient and remainder. And what is the relation between the quotient and remainder and the divisor here? 0 is less than or equal to r is less than b. Means the remainder can be either 0 or more than 0. But it should be definitely less than the divisor. R is less than b. Remainder should be always less than the divisor. This is about Euclid's division lemma. Next, Euclid's division algorithm. By using this Euclid's division algorithm, we can find HCF of the given positive integers. HCF, highest common factor of given positive integers. See, let us see the procedure, the steps which do we follow in this Euclid's division algorithm. First step, see Euclid's division algorithm is used to obtain the HCF of two positive integers, say c and d. So we are going to find the HCF of c and d. What are the steps you have to follow? Step 1. Apply Euclid's division lemma to c and d. So we find whole numbers q and r such that c is equal to dq plus r, where 0 is less than or equal to r is less than d. See, I said no, here a and b, we have taken a and b as dividend and divisor. Here we are taking c and d. C is dividend and d is the divisor. If you are dividing c with d, there exists unique quotient and remainder q and r. The relation is 0 is less than or equal to r is less than d. Now, second step, if remainder is equals to 0, if you divide any dividend with the divisor, if the remainder becomes 0, then that divisor d is the HCF of c and d. If remainder is not equal to 0, apply division algorithm, apply division lemma for d and r again. If in that case the remainder is 0, that divisor will be the HCF of given two numbers. If the remainder is not 0, then what will happen? That divisor will become the dividend and that the remainder will become the divisor. So by taking those two, again you have to apply the Euclid's division lemma. Continue this process till the remainder is 0 and the divisor at this stage will be the HCF of the required number. Whenever you get the remainder as 0, that divisor will be the HCF of given two numbers. Let us see some examples, then you can understand, children. And in this Euclid's division algorithm, what can we find? We can recognize that HCF of C and D and HCF of D and R will be equal. HCF of both the numbers will be equal in all the cases. Every time the dividend will become the divisor, no? So HCF will be same. Where the symbol HCF of C and D. See here, HCF bracket C and D means HCF of C and D here. Look at first example. You use Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of 4052 and 12576. So we have to use Euclid's division algorithm. How to use Euclid's division algorithm? First we have to apply Euclid's division lemma for these two given numbers. So which is more bigger number here? 12,576 is more than 4052. So here 12,576 will be the dividend and 4052 will be the divisor. So how can you apply Euclid's division lemma here? 12,576 can be written as 4052 into 3 plus the remainder is 420. Means if you divide 12,576 with 4052, it will be divisible by 3 times and the remainder will be left as 420. As the remainder is not 0, then what we have to do? What will happen? This divisor will be the dividend. The divisor at the first step 4052 will be the dividend and the remainder at the first step 420 will be the divisor. Means you have to apply same Euclid's division lemma is to be applied for this 4052 and 420. So again 4052 can be written as 420 into 9 plus 272. In this case also the remainder is not 0. Here also the remainder is not 0. So again what we have to do? This divisor 420 will become the dividend and this remainder 272 will become the divisor. So divide. 420 is equal to 272 into 1 plus 148 is the remainder here. Here also the remainder is not 0. Again the process will continue. 272 will be the dividend and this remainder 148 will be the divisor. So 272 is equal to 148 into 1 plus 124 is the remainder in this case. Again here also the remainder is not 0. So continue the process. The dividend, this divisor will be the dividend. 148 will be the dividend and 124 will be the divisor. So 148 is equal to 124 into 1. 1 times it will cancel and 24 is the remainder. Again continue the process. 124 will be the dividend and 24 will be the divisor. 124 will cancel in 24 with 5 times. 24 5s plus 4 is the remainder. Again continue. 24 will be the dividend and 4 will be the divisor. 24 is equal to 4 6 are 24 and the remainder is 0. So in which step we will get the remainder as 0? That divisor will be the HCF of given two numbers. What is the divisor here? 4 is the divisor. So HCF of given two numbers will be 4. And again what we can observe here, HCF of 12,576 and 4,052 is equal to 4. In the same way 4,052, HCF of 4,052 and 420 also will be the same, that is 4 only. And HCF of 420 and 272 will be 4, 272 and 148, 148 and 124 and 124 and 24 also. The HCF will be 4 only in for all these two numbers. Clear children? Did you understand how to find the HCF of given two numbers by using Euclid's division algorithm? Okay, this is about. And let us see the remarks here. Euclid's division lemma and algorithm are so closely interlinked that people often call former as the division algorithm. Both are same. The Euclid's division lemma, that is only we are applying. See, algorithm definition already we have learnt. It is a well-defined steps which are used to prove another, solve the another type of sum. So here all these steps we are using Euclid's division lemma to find HCF of the given numbers. That is only Euclid's division algorithm. So both are nearly same, and although Euclid's division algorithm is stated for positive integers, it can be extended for all integers except 0, that is b is not equal to 0. However, we shall not discuss. See, we can find not only for positive integers, for negative integers also you can divide. But b should not be 0. We can't divide any number with 0. So, out of a and b no need to be only positive integers. We can divide with negative integers also. But these topics we are going to learn in the next classes, not here. Okay children, next. Example 2. Show that every positive integer, even integer, is of the form 2q, and that every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1, where q is some integer. See, we have to prove that even integer is in the form of 2q and odd integer is in the form of 2q plus 1. To prove that, let a be a positive integer. Consider a positive integer a and b is equal to 2. Then by Euclid's division algorithm, apply Euclid's division algorithm, a is equal to 2q plus r. A can be divided with 2. So then the quotient is q and the remainder is r. For some for some integer q is greater than or equal to 0. Quotient will be always more than or equal to 0, and the remainder r is equal to 0. See here, what can be the cases? What values can r can take? See, what is the condition in Euclid's division lemma? 0 is less than or equal to r is less than b. Here what is b? 2. So 0 is less than or equal to r is less than 2. So r should be either 0 or less than 2. So r can take the values of 0 or 1 or 2. So substitute r is equal to 0. R should not take 2 because r is strictly less than 2, no? So r can be either 0 or 1. Only two values it can take, either 0 or 1. So substitute r is equal to 0 in this, a is equal to 2q. Then a is equal to 2q plus 0, that is a is equal to 2q. It is a positive integer. And a is equal to 2q plus 1. If r is equal to 1, then a is equal to 2q plus 1. 2q, 2 into any number will be definitely an even number. And if 1 is added to an even number, it will be an odd number. Understood children? Next. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is some integer. Here also we have to prove that positive odd integer will be in the form of 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. For that, consider a positive integer a and another integer b is equal to 4. Apply Euclid's division algorithm. Then a is equal to 4q plus r, where 0 is less than or equal to r is less than 4. Here r can take 3 values. They are four values. R should be either it can be equal to 0 or less than 4. So from 0 to 3, it should be less than 4 means it can take up to 3. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. R can be either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. So substitute these values in the above equation. A is equal to bq plus r. Then r can be either 4q plus 0, that is 4q, or 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 2 or 4q plus 3, where q is quotient. However, since a is odd, a cannot be 4q or 4q plus 2. A should be odd number. He asked us to prove the odd number. How it will be? Odd number will be. So 4q means it is a multiple of 2. All the multiples of 2 are even numbers. So here 4q will be an even number and 4q plus 2. If 2 is added to any even number, that also will be an even number only. So what are the numbers which are left? 4q plus 1 and 4q plus 3. Even number plus 1 gives an odd number and even number plus 3 also gives an odd number. So any odd integer will be in the form of 4q plus 1 and 4q plus 3. And this example 4 is about finding HCF of the given two numbers by using Euclid's division algorithm. And These are the sums based on these topics only, Euclid's division algorithm and Euclid's division lemma. The concept is the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. It is, see, every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. Every composite number can be expressed as the product of prime numbers. The factorization will be same, but order may differ. You can change the order may differ, but the factorization will be same, means all the prime factors for any composite numbers are same. Okay, this is about the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. See here, and if you write all the prime factors in ascending order, then the order also will be the same. There won't be any change even in the order also. For example, see here, 32,760 is prime factorized. See, then 2 cube into 3 square into 5 into 7 into 13. You can start with any number. If you start dividing with 2, first you will get all 2's, 2 cubes you will get. Even if you start dividing with 5 also, you can prime factorize. The prime factors will be the same, but the order will differ. So, in order to avoid that confusion, what do we do? In general, what do? We will express any composite number as a product of its primes. And see here, if x is a composite number, it can be expressed as product of primes as p1 into p2 into and so on pn, where p1 is less than or equal to p2 is less than or equal to p3 is less than or equal to and so on pn. Means first we will write the smallest prime number, less than or equal to. It may, the second prime factor may be equal to this first prime factor only. See here 2 into 2. 2 times we got prime factor 2 has occurred for 3 times here. So, it may be equal to, or first prime factor will be less than the second prime factor. So, what do we do while prime factorizing? We will start from the smallest prime number, that is 2. After that, with the 3 we will divide. After that, if it is not divisible by 3, we will go for 5. Like that we have to do. Then all the prime factors will be same, and even the order also will be the same. This is about the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. See, look at example 5. Consider the number 4 power n, where n is a natural number. Check whether there is any value of n for which 4 power n ends with 0. Here he is asking to find whether 4 power can 4 power n ends with 0. See, if any number ends with 0, what is the condition there? It should be either divisible by 5 or divisible by 10. So, to get this 4 power n divisible by 5 or 10, it should have the prime factors 2 into 5. It is divisible by 5. One of its prime factors should be 5 only, no? So, let us write the prime factors of 4 power n. What are the prime factors of 4? 2 into 2 only. So, it can be written as 2 into 2 whole power n. Does we have 5 here? No. So, as 5 is not one of the prime factors of this 4 power n, definitely it will not be divisible by 5. So, it will not be divisible by 5. So, if it is not divisible by 5, it can't have 0 in the units digit. So, what can you say? Right, if the number 4 power n for any n were to end with the digit 0, then it would be divisible by 5. But the prime factors of 4 power n are only 2 into 2. As it doesn't have 5 as prime factor, it will not be divisible by 5. So, it can't end with a digit 0. So, there exists no n. There won't be any n for 4 power n is equal to 0. To get the units digit of 4 power n is 0. Next, example 6. Before going to this example 6, let us see how to find HCF and LCM of given numbers by using prime factorization method. See, HCF is equal to product of the smallest power of each common prime factor in the numbers. First, you have to prime factorize all the given numbers, and to find the HCF, you have to multiply all the smallest power of each common prime factor in the number. And to find out the HCF, product of the greatest power of each prime factor involved in the number. Greatest product of greatest power of each prime factor involved in the number. For example, see how to find HCF and LCM of 6 and 20. First of all, prime factorize this 6 and 20. Prime factorization of 6 gives 2 into 3. 2 power 1 into 3 power 1. Prime factorization of 20 is 2 square into 5 power 1. So, to find the HCF, product of the smallest power of each common factor. First of all, see the common factors. Which is common among these factors? Only 2 is common among these two factors, two numbers. So, what is the smallest power of 2 here? 2 power 1. The smallest power of 2 is 2 power 1. So, HCF of 6 and 20 will become 2 power 1. And to find the HCF, how to find? To find the LCM, product of greatest power of each prime factor involved in that. You have to consider all the prime factors, but in that greatest power you have to take. See, 2 is there in both the numbers, but what is the greatest power of 2 here? 2 square is the greatest power, so 2 square into 3 is also 3 is there only with 6. Only in 6 there is 3 as a prime factor. So what is the highest power of 3? 3 power 1. And 5. 5 is also there in 20. What is the highest power of 5? 5 power 1. So to find out the LCM, you have to consider all the factors. In those, if there is any common factor, both you should not consider. The greatest power you have to consider. Coming to HCF, only the common factor you have to consider and the smallest power you have to consider. So in this way you can find the HCF and LCM of given two numbers, and also the relation between HCF, LCM and any two numbers. HCF of A into B and LCM of A comma B is equal to A into B, means the product of two numbers is equal to the product of LCM and HCF of those two numbers. So based on this concept, we have some examples. Example 7. Find the HCF of 96 and 404 by using prime factorization method. Hence find their LCM. To find by using prime factorization method, first we have to prime factorize those two. Now how to find the HCF? HCF is product of the common smallest power of each common factors. First of all, see what is the common factor? 2. Only 2 is common factor. That is, what are the powers of 2? 2 power 5 and 2 power 2. Which is the smallest power? 2 power 2 is the smallest power. So 2 square is equal to 4 is the HCF. By using HCF and two numbers, he asked us to find the LCM. How to find? We have the relation HCF into LCM is equal to A into B. So by using that, LCM is equal to A into B by HCF. A into B. What are the two numbers? 96 into 404. 96 into 404 by HCF of those two numbers. That is 96 into 404 by 4. That is 9696. Next, example 8. Find the HCF and LCM of 6, 72 and 120 using prime factorization. The same example you have to prime factorize and you have to find out the HCF and LCM. Based on this, we have some more example exercises. Exercise 1.2 is based on this fundamental theorem of arithmetic and finding the HCF and LCM. Here you have to notice one thing. See, we can say that we have the relation between two numbers and their HCM and LCM. We can say that product of two numbers is equal to product of their HCF and LCM. But coming to three numbers, it will not be applicable. Product of three numbers is not equal to product of those three numbers HCF and LCM. That you have to recognize here. Next.